Here's what actually happens when you're 4 years behind on taxes. Number one, you're not going to jail. Stay with me here. A failure to file penalty and a failure to pay penalty. Both are accruing interest and compounding daily. Okay, don't freak out. The IRS will file a substitute return. If you're on 1099, that means that they will file a tax return for you without your business expenses. So you're going to be taxed on a higher amount. It's going to look like you owe more than you really should, which is why you have to file. And do not forget about the states, you guys. The states are super petty. New York and California, don't even get me started. If it ever comes down between choosing between the state and the federal, always pay the state first. Eventually they can garnish your wages, put on levy for your property, here's your passport, but it just depends on how much you owe is how aggressive they're gonna get. But you should know if the IRS is about to garnish your wages because they will be your number one pen pal. Remember, the IRS won't call you. They only correspond via mail, or you can log into your IRS portal. So yeah, your taxes are always due, but your refund expires in 3 years if you don't file taxes. Nice, right? So like I said, you're not going to jail. You're probably not going to jail anyways, unless you're super rich and purposely trying to evade taxes. If you're committing fraud, you're likely not going to jail. Okay, but let's talk about how to move forward here. Do not panic file. Don't just file a tax return with random numbers just to get a return out the door. It's not going to help your cause. You need a professional. You want to gather all of your tax documents. If you don't know where they are, you can always go to irs.gov/account, download your wage and income transcripts. In this portal, there's a summary of all the money you've ever made, if you have any notices, refunds due, etc., etc. It's a great resource. Start there. Your state also has a similar portal. Just Google it. Unless you're in a state that doesn't have any state tax. You're going to file your oldest year first. So that's starting in 22, then 23, 24, year by year. Put 2025 on extension so this loop doesn't continue. Remember that filing an extension is only an extension to file and not an extension to pay. So you should still make a payment to the IRS on April 15th for 2025 if you usually owe. But in the meantime, we can be knocking out these tax returns year by year. Payment plans exist. You have options for paying your tax bill. You can at least file. You can avoid the failure to file penalty. Then you're just worrying about the failure to pay penalty. IRS is not trying to destroy you. They just want their money. And I know this is stressful and confusing, and it's super unfair to even have to pay taxes in the first place. We were never taught about this in school. But at the end of the day, the system is bigger than us, and you have to pay your taxes. If you want to invest, own property, have a luxury apartment, all of these things are on the other side of a tax return. I'm Catherine. I specialize in judgment-free tax help. Follow along for more judgment-free tax tips. We are accepting new clients. There is a client application in the link in my bio. Happy tax season, y'all.